Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each week to bring you tasteful content.
But viewer discretion is advised.
Now enjoy the show.
We'll begin this week in Rock Hall with Shardana Sailing Charters.
We head to the Lewis Road Kayak launch to check out some water trails.
We'll take a look at life on the water through the eyes of Scorchy Taws.
We'll put it in high gear on the chop tank with the Cambridge Powerboat Regatta.
And we'll join the fun of Paddlefest at Janes Island State Park.
The Outdoors Delmarva Life on the Water special starts right now.
Welcome to Outdoors Delmarva, the show that celebrates our communities, our cultures and traditions, and the places we call home. My name is Jason Lee.
And I'm Lauren Hitch.
Lauren, the expression goes, any day on the water is better than a day at work. But luckily for us, a day on the water is our work.
That is so true. And we've got a great Life on the Water special coming your way. There's only one thing that would have made this special better.
And what's that?
If we had video documentation of you falling into the water.
Well, we don't, because that didn't happen.
Yet. It didn't happen yet. There's still plenty of boating adventures in our future.
I think I'm going to start requesting to go on those alone.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here are Jason Lee and Lauren Hitch.
Nothing is better than being out on the water, so we thought that we would put together a special celebrating all things water on Delmarva.
And our first stop is in Rock Hall, where Jason got to enjoy a day of sailing.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Ready to go sailing?
I'm ready to go sailing. Let's go.
All righty. This is Shardana. The name comes from an ancient Mediterranean sea people. 42-foot Catalina. It's built in 2017, so it's 8th season in use. We work meticulously to keep her clean and nice. I tell everybody, you are welcome to do as much of the sailing as you want. I can instruct you on what to do, or you can just sit and enjoy your cocktails.
Well, no cocktails today, but I do look forward to getting some firsthand experience on sailing for the very first time.
Well, I will walk you through all the paces, and we'll get you the wheel and handle the lines, and we'll see what we can do. So this area, known as the Haven, the body of water is Swan Creek. And when we do short trips on hot days when there's no wind, we'll go out in the bay, get really hot, then drop anchor in here and go swimming.
So this boat is set up to bring along 6 people. And you, like I said, are able to go out for as long as 7 days. Pretty nice because you do offer a lot of different packages when it comes to something like this. I mean, you were telling me that anywhere from a 3-hour tour, and that could be, you know, anything during the day to the sunset tours, to a 7-day cruise.
Yeah,
and that gives folks a lot of different advantages to, you know, how much they want to participate in this, because as you were telling me, like about 75% of your clientele, they actually want to participate in the sailing and not just sit and relax. Some people do,
yeah,
which is fine. But, you know, if you're looking to get into something, this seems like a great way to really get your toe wet.
And we have people of all skills, from never been on a sailboat to 40 years experience sailing and just tired of running their own boats.
The next time someone says, hey, we should do something, and the thought of, well, we should do something different comes up, you should probably check out ShardanaSailing.com.
The Outdoors Delmarva Life on the Water special continues with some kayaking right after the break.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
And we're going to scale down on the boat size a little bit for our next outing.
That's right. We stopped by Berlin and got a lesson on paddling and did a little kayaking ourselves. We're here with Laura, and she's a kayak enthusiast and just knows everything about a lot of Delaware wetlands and wildlands here. Tell us where we are today, though.
We are just outside of Berlin. We are on Ayers Creek at the Lewis Road Kayak Launch.
And we're going to go kayaking today. Talk about how you got started with kayaking.
It goes way back. I actually worked for Delaware State Parks for almost 17 years, and my first summer I was an intern leading kayak tours, and they hired me even though I had never been in a kayak before. So I learned kind of on the job and fell in love with it and got my first kayak the following summer. Now I'm married and have a kid, and we all go kayaking together, so it's a big part of my life. Ayers Creek that we're going to paddle today. It is actually the largest expanse of salt marsh wetland in Worcester County. It is a huge area of wetlands and some really beautiful wildlife to be seen out here too.
So for people who have never kayaked before, what are some things that we need to pack along with us today?
The Coast Guard requires you to have on board a PFD or a life jacket and a whistle. So those are mandatory. Like, you can actually get a fine if the Coast Guard pulls you over and you don't have one of those things with you. I take it a step further and I say, wear the PFD. Like, always wear your PFD. I wear mine like a seatbelt. Like, it's just, I feel weird if I'm not wearing one. Always extra drinking water, bring double what you think you need for the day. And then you need to leave a float plan. So that's a fancy way of telling somebody, hey, I'm going kayaking. I'll be back at this time. This is where I'm going. And then that responsible person should be not going kayaking with you so that if you don't return, they can see if you're okay. I recommend bring a cell phone with you. I take it a step further. I bring a VHF radio with me because sometimes I go into really remote places that don't have any cell phone signal. So if I'm really in a jam, I could radio the Coast Guard. Luckily, that's never happened before. Dry bag with like a first aid kit is always a good thing. Extra sunscreen, bug spray. If you're considering it and you're just like not sure, just try it. That's all there is to it. You can go on a guided trip with, again, some of these great outfitters that we have around here. You can rent kayaks and see what you like. There's also some really great Facebook groups out there on the Eastern Shore for kayaking, and they're always coordinating meetups and getting advice from each other. It's like it's a really supportive group.
And a lot of state parks too, they'll let you kind of rent kayaks or different things to try them out for yourself. Then maybe that way you could learn if you like it, or if you were like, nope, we can't do a canoe, I want to do this, or vice versa.
Yeah, and honestly, state parks are extremely affordable rentals. I was over at Chaplain yesterday. We, of course, have been in kayaks, and we didn't need to rent a kayak, but we rented a paddle boat, and that we were just like, wow, this is so affordable and accessible to so many people. It's just awesome.
Right in the backyard.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Laura with Delmarva Trails and Waterways for sharing her passion with us. Wasn't a bad day of work at all.
Don't go paddling off just yet. We've got more from the Outdoors Delmarva Life on the Water special coming right up.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
We're going to talk about a 114-year-old boating tradition shortly in the show, but crabbing is a deeply rooted tradition here on Delmarva.
And of course, we love to indulge in a bushelful, but we have to give props to the crabbers themselves, just like in this week's Remembering Scorchy Taws.
Honoring the life and legacy of Scorchy Taws, thanks to Shorts Marine in Long Neck, Delaware. Shorts Marine, everything but the water.
It's midday when they arrive to sell their day's catch. Most have been up since 3 a.m. It ain't no job for wimps.
They are rugged. They got to be rugged. That's a tough job. They go out there, and when they pull them pots up, them sea nettles fly all over them, burn them up. Well, you know, if I've been swimming, been stung with sea nettle, well, they get it 100 times a day. And the weather doesn't bother them. They go. They're just rugged people, that's all. They work hard.
Warren Ward and his partner Marshall Jones have been buying crabs on the Chrisfield waterfront for over a quarter of a century. They know these men of the Chesapeake well.
They're wonderful people. Wonderful people. They get mad with you sometimes they don't, but they're always, you're laughing the next day. They get over it quick.
No grudges.
No grudges, no.
Most all crabbers are barn crabbers. Few are made. Some represent the 5th or 6th generation. They know the waters of the Chesapeake and its tributaries like a foal knows its mama, can predict weather with amazing accuracy, and scoff at scientists who predict whether this fearless living fossil will be in plentiful or short supply.
You know what a Tangier boy said, didn't he? Guy asked him over there, well, sitting around the store, said, "What do you know about crabs?" And I know just as much about it as anybody. I said, "What do you know about it?" I said, "Well, he comes, he goes, and he bites."
Yes, the crabber is humorous and even philosophical.
Crabbing season you're having? Well, it's been good so far, Scorchy, but it's falling down. Well, it can't be good all the time. No, got to take a little bad with the good.
The crabber is quite a guy. No grass grows under his feet. He sees to it that what's in the bay today can be in the belly tonight. And after watching this, you just gotta agree, it's a lot more pleasurable to eat 'em than it is to catch 'em. Scorchy Taws wandering our Delmarva land for WBOC News.
Remembering Scorchy Taws is sponsored by Shorts Marine. Online at shortsmarine.com.
Did you know that any place you stand in the first state is usually within 1 mile of a wetland?
And did you know that salt marshes cover Delaware's coast from the upper edges of the Delaware Bay near the C&D Canal to the inland bays in the south near the Maryland line?
Now you do.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
The tradition of boat racing on Maryland's eastern shore is deep.
The Cambridge Powerboat Regatta has been going on for 114 years, and you got to check it out this year.
I did, and don't worry, they didn't let me behind the wheel.
Well, that's probably a good move on their part. They've probably seen you driving the Subaru around Delmarva, and, well, they knew better.
1911, 114 years. We are the oldest boat race in the country, and there's a lot of famous racers from here. There's more world champion, national champion, world record setting, and Hall of Champion racers from Cambridge than there is any other town in the country.
It's different. The sport's very different than anything you're used to. When folks come out for the first time, they'll say, wow, I hadn't seen that. When you see these boats come across the finish line right here at the start, or right here along the bleachers, and there's 8 boats at 110, 120 miles an hour, all blowing that turn, and it's a big wall of water. It's exciting. It really is, and people learn to follow it quick. There are 2 groups that are running races at this point in the inboard powerboat races in the country. American Powerboat Association and the Hydroplane Racing League out of Canada. Hydroplane Racing Organization is who is running this race this weekend for us. They've set it up as a business. All the racers are invited to join them. You can say, I would like to join, but you're invited to come in. And because of that, they get the top racers. The fastest and the best racers are there. The American Powerboat Association is an organization of members. You pay your dues, you join, you decide what class you're going to go in, you follow the rules and come. They run everything. I liken it to hiring the circus. You create the venue, you sell the tickets, and they run the show.
Except for the Jersey Speed Skiff class, there's only 1 person in the boat. The boats that we have here range from 100 to 130 miles an hour. And then in the Jersey Speed Skiff, there's 2 people and they run about 85 miles an hour.
We have great concessions through here. There are, all different kinds of food over here, drink, beer. You gotta have beer at a boat race. The kids zone is over here behind us. So there's activity for children. So there's a lot of different things to do. It truly is a family event. We'll have opportunities at the end to let spectators go in and see the boats. At the end of the day, when it's all over with, we can open up and spectators are allowed to go in and see the boats and actually talk to the drivers.
All of the boat racing that we do is the owners and the drivers are very personable. They welcome people to come ask questions. It's not like you're bothering somebody or they brush you off, they'll answer your questions. They'll sit there and talk to you. They enjoy it as much as anything. We welcome anyone to go and ask any of the questions they want.
People occasionally say, why don't you charge admission? Well, it's kind of difficult to charge admission because there's so many ways to access this point. So we just say, pay a parking fee, come in, and then participate with a spot.
And the parking fees for a car. It doesn't matter if you have 2 people or 10 people in it. It's a $5 charge.
But the idea is we'll start about 10:30 in the morning, and by 3:30 we'll be done. We have a tagline for this event. It's a community event by and for the community, and we truly mean that. We could not do this without the support financially, the number of volunteers that come out, and then the people that come watch it. And it's all for their benefit.
What a great day of family fun on the Choptank. I'm already looking forward to going back next year.
I'm sure that you are, and maybe I'll go with you this time. We're going to check out your latest photos when Outdoors Delmarva returns, so don't go anywhere. Before we check out your latest photos, we have one more stop in our Life on the Water special.
We're headed to Janes Island State Park for Paddlefest.
Today is our 3rd annual paddle festival. It's the Janes Island Paddle Fest. We have a what we call the Janes Island Challenge, and that's a 13-mile circumnavigation of the island itself. So tomorrow we had yoga earlier today. We have paddleboard yoga tomorrow morning. It's really it's a showing of great support from staff and volunteers and you name it. So everybody's here to have a great time. We advocate that novice paddlers, there's a lot of protection with the salt marsh. And there's a lot of people even on the challenge that want to participate, but they don't want to do it alone. Right. So this is a great introduction to a group and a lot of camaraderie going on here.
This is such a great event happening in Somerset County, but I'm here with Elizabeth, and you guys have another great event coming up.
We do. So the Somerset County Health Department is sponsoring a gun safety event. It's going to be on June 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. in Crisfield, Maryland at the Woodrow Wilson Community Center, which is right across from the Summers Cove Marina. So we're going to have all kinds of vendors there promoting safe gun ownership. We're going to be giving out these lock boxes to the event. These are free to anybody that lives in Somerset County. We're hoping for weather just like today. We're going to have McGruff the crime dog there for the kids. So yeah, lots of fun family stuff going on.
For those who want to sign up next year for Paddlefest, because I know it's already in the works.
So I will say that it's in part of the National Trails Day. It's the first Saturday in June every year, and we'll start planning as soon as this is over.
Well, that's really exciting. Well, Christina, thank you so much for having us out here today.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Now it's time to flip through the photo album and take a look at your latest pictures.
Thanks to our friends at North Bay Marina.
Amanda Lang went out with our friend C.L. Marshall and reeled in this black drum from the waters of the Tangier Sound.
Eric Jensen of Georgetown caught his first keeper rock of the season off the South Jetty of the Indian River Inlet. Eric said the striped bass measured in at 31 inches long and weighed 15 pounds.
Luke Evans took to the waters of Smith Island and proved that even if you fish all day and come up just a wee bit short, a day on the water is always a good day.
Life on the water certainly isn't restricted to those of us on 2 legs, as Loki and Rete represent the 4-legger community who loves the water just as much as we do.
Jeff Mitchell of Salisbury usually sends us photos from the air, but this time he sent us a beautiful sunset from his campsite down to Cape Charles.
And George Patterson of Berlin sent us this photo of Herring Creek, proving how good life on the water really is.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina.
That concludes our Life on the Water special. Thanks so much for joining us.
We hope to see you right back here again next week, but until then, my name is Jason Lee.
And I'm Lauren Hitch, and we hope to see you
Outdoors Delmarva.
You've been watching Outdoors Delmarva, a Draper Media production, which is proudly presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine, everything but the water. By Bell Creek Equipment. For farm, home, or fun, Bell Creek is #1. By Range Time, time well spent. And by Hunter Emery State Farm, your good neighbor in the outdoors.